And once again, I'm moving things in the reptile room. So remember I had made this space available for some new cages. Turns out the cage build was a bit delayed. Hopefully I'll be getting them this Saturday. Exciting stuff going on, but let's get to that. Now, to strip all the electrical parts out of this old rack that I made with my dad like forever ago, because I can still use a bunch of these appliances. Let's do that now. You see, there's always an opportunity to reuse stuff, so I'm taking this apart and I'm sure I'll find a use for the old pieces of melamine. Ooh. Well, I guess that has to happen sometime. Are done. That's like 10 years of history right there, taken apart in under 10 minutes. Yeah, that's not gonna move by itself. Yeah, I'm a bit light. That's delicious. Yo, your boy is officially no longer a teenager. And what am I doing today on my special birthday? I am working on these cages here. So a few days ago I picked up all of these enclosures from my friend. We kind of had to cut corners and build them really quickly because the whole purpose of them is for putting them up at the Reptile Expo to show people what we'll have available to sell. The idea is to provide a high quality enclosure here in South Africa because we don't really have that available. So these aren't completely finished yet, but I'm going to be working on these today and going to be sealing them up with fiberglass resin so it can all look nice and spazzy, and then I can deck it out with all the polystyrene foam background things that I've made, glue that in, carve it out, cement it to make it look all good and nice. So those aren't the exact final thing of what you would be buying, but it's kind of a good idea to see how the different sizes are perfectly able to stack on top of each other and make one seamless set of enclosures. So if you want to buy one at a time, you can just stack it on the other one, if that makes sense. So you don't have to buy a whole unit at once. These are all separate enclosures, but they're built so they can fit on top of each other and make it look perfect and seamless. And then obviously they have the cable management, advanced airflow. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to be amazing. Having a fun day working in the animal room with the animals. I feel like I got to call it a nice name, like the Herp Studio or something. I think maybe let's call it that. This isn't a reptile room, but a herb studio. It's resin time. Now I just have to mix up the resin and the catalyst together so it can harden. And there we go. Hopefully we'll have a nice fiberglass resin waterproof enclosure that I can make nice and bioactive for some special snakes that are hopefully coming. Now sadly you have to work really quickly with this thing because it dries so fast. Time is of the essence, and the smell is incredibly toxic and not great for my snakes. So what I'm doing to counter that is I've put on my extractor fan, which is an insane extractor fan, so the snakes aren't even getting any smell out of this. So while that cage is drying over there, I thought let's clean some snake enclosures because that's what we need to do. But this floor is a mess and that is not conducive to cleaning venomous snakes. So let's try and make a pathway that I can actually move away from the snake if I need to, and then clean them, because if I do it now, that'll just be stupid. So, snouted cobra, in the bucket it goes. Now the Cape Cobra, woo! He's definitely getting some nice size to him now, and he's looking quite dark, which is not the most common thing for a Cape Cobra, a very yellow snake with speckles typically. But that is what you get when you get a special locality Cape Cobra from the Northwest. Ever wondered what a psychotic little cobra looks like? Well, this is her over here, trying to bite me constantly. Naughty little thing. That's why I'm gonna bring the bucket, this thing over here, right underneath. Then I open this up and coax her out. Easy as 1, 2, 3. What is cooler than spending your birthday with a bunch of toxic little snakes? I mean, nothing better than being healthy, being able to rest, just chilling and working with your snakes. How cool is that? Living the dream, honestly. What time is it? It's time to move all those foam background carving items into this enclosure now that it's all sealed up with resin, and then figure out what goes where and then set it in place with some silicone and spray foam. Let's do that, boys. This is the frustrating thing about fiberglass resin opposed to liquid rubber, but it really does work, and I just prefer it to liquid rubber even though I've used both. And now once you've mixed the parts up of the fiberglass resin, you have to apply it really quickly. You have a 20 to 30 minute window to use everything up. That's why you mix it in small quantities. It's time to clean Murphy's enclosure. He's right underneath here. You can see right there, he made a nice poop and he slithered right through his poop. So I was busy here working and behind my desk, and I was like, oh, cobra poop has a very weird smell. And let's there's the boy Murphy. He's getting nice and big and he's calmed down a ton, as you can see here. But I can make him go all spastic if I want to, but there's no need to do that. We can just be calm and collected and put him in the bucket and clean his poop cage. If he gives me back my hook stick. Now obviously there's one thing to be very careful when picking up snake poop with your hands. I normally have tweezers, but I can't find them. That is, don't get pricked by a snake fang. Although nothing should really happen to you. I have heard cases where friends of mine have been pricked and had full-on reactions to the snake fang because there is venom. Even though some of it gets denatured through the snake's digestive system, not all of it does, and some of it can stay there and still harm you, so you got to be very careful. It's a lot easier doing this with cobra poop because their fangs aren't as pronounced as like something like your adders, like your puff adder, which I'll also pick up now with my hands. Once everything is done, let's get Murphy back into his enclosure. What a beautiful boy. He's getting quite big now, and there you can see him scoot off. Just like that, he's disappeared. Puff adder time! This girl will be a bit more tricky to get out, I reckon, because contrary to popular belief, puff adders can move quite quickly. They are said to be one of the fastest striking snakes. However, I don't know if that's completely accurate. You get some really fast striking snakes. I think it depends on the snake and the individual of the animal who's actually striking. There we go. And that's a professional way how to take out these puff adders, because tailing them isn't the safest thing always, and when you're doing this nice and quickly to get them out, it's a lot easier using two hooks than it is tailing them, because if you touch their tail over here, they can swing around and wham, bite you. So if you go and just touch that tail there, they can swing back with lightning speed and just bite you on the finger. It's a lot easier to do that with gaboons, because gaboons are a lot more chilled than puff adders are, and most guys get away with it with gaboon vipers, and a lot more people get tagged by puff adders doing something like that. You will, however, see me tailing a puff adder from time to time, but I will read the snake's body language before I do that. She just bit herself and now she can't get her fang loose. Oh no, that's not good. There we go. So some of the things working with puff adders. Even though I put her down nice and slowly, she did bite herself and her bottom jaw tooth got hooked on her tail, and then she started going frantic. At least we got her free with the hook stick, because I'm not sticking my hands in there to do that. I will now check on her because there can be a bit of issues from time to time when they bite themselves. Generally, they are per se immune to their own venom. I don't think that was a venom bite because, yeah, but we'll see. I'll make sure she's okay and just watch her from now on. Now, look at this size of poop. The interesting with her is I literally picked up the poop just the day before she pooped this. So I didn't want to take her out again and mess with her because she pooped in the exact same spot 2 days in a row. And as you can see, it's a huge poop. Oftentimes with large-bodied vipers, they will hold up their poops for a long time, and that's how a lot of gaboon vipers die in captivity, because they actually have that impaction from their own poop. So a good way to get rid of that is let them swim in some water and they loosen up their bowels then. Okay, so as you can see, I am tailing her now. Just checking on her jaw. She does seem to have hurt her lip a little bit there. We'll keep an eye on that. And just checking the back where she seems to have bit herself. She seems to be okay. As you can see, she has the free will to move wherever she wants to right now. I'm not holding her tail. Her tail is just resting on me.